You know, I thought I was done with this deck, and then turns out I wasn't. So anyway, hey guys, it's Shane. Today I'm going to show you the Herminia deck that I settled on that won me a locals tournament. Wow, it's just Herminia. So you as you can notice, it's the Herminia right line, but we're using the dress up version, the Enduring Beauty Herminia, which is actually much faster, and most of the time your opponent gives you the 3 damage you need for turn 3 anyway. So it's best to, you know, ride out for free when you can. So the grade 0 starter is QT topic Ribina, mainly because it's the Herminia starter. So Herminia starter. So anyway, so it's your standard grade 0. If you go second, you draw a card, basic stuff. No, nothing to note of over here. The grade 1 is your standard Herminia right line, sniping Eiffel Larangier. Basically, you Soul Blast 1, you discard a card, then you draw a card. So the whole point is to remove the soul. For the second continuous effect is when the soul has no cards, which basically means you're in powerful state. See? Powerful state. When you will write the Attract Peach Aneurys, which is the grade 2, you can write without discarding, so you basically write for free. So it's basically a net 0 for writing to grade 2. Then a grade 2 only has one of 2 continuous skill. One continuous skill is when it attacks, it gains 2000 power on Vanguard or rear, which is actually very interesting, though you normally won't call this on rear. So this is for boosted numbers, so it gives it it's a 20k column basically. It's actually kind of insane. It actually helps for rushing. Then the second effect is basically you have to, if it's in powerful state, you Soul Blast 1, then when you would write Coming of Beauty Herminia, you may not discard, you don't have to discard for cost. But then you will ask, but this is Enduring Beauty Herminia, how can it be used? But basically, because of the powerful ability, the dress up system, this counts as the Coming of Beauty Herminia, despite being Enduring Beauty according to this name. So you can actually write this for free, which is actually really good. Just to general brief, the first effect says when you have 3 or more face down cards in your damage zone, if during the battle phase during the battle phase, if you have 3 or more face down cards in your damage zone, you reduce the front row counterblast by 1. So keep in mind it says battle phase, so it doesn't work during the main phase, which is something I didn't realize. Then the second effect, which ignores which you don't have to check your damage for, during the powerful state, if you personalize this turn, you can pay the cost of this ability by counterblast instead if you persona wrote. So basically, at the end of the battle, this unit attack, you can discard a card with Herminia's card name, and then you can stand the front row rear guards with powerful ability. So keep in mind, you will need to have powerful units. So that's the general gist. That's your right line. First of all, let's cover the basics, like persona writing is good. So in this case, it's actually almost mandatory because you want to persona write for more power. So for the power, and so that you don't neg 1 from your hand, so you'll keep drawing more cards. Then, of course, how many copies of original Herminia we run? We run 3, because I found 2 a bit too inconsistent, so 3 it is. Basically, the idea is this just discard fodder, basically. And in niche cases, if your opponent damage deny you can write into this, and it is generally a better plus. So I'll read the skill. First act ability, not once, counterblast 1, and it gives this Herminia plus 5000 power until end of turn, and it's not once per turn, so you can keep doing it. Why you can keep doing it? Because the second effect says if you have no face-up cards in your damage zone, discard a card from your hand and stand one of your rear guard with powerful ability, and reduce the next counterblast cost by 1, which is pretty good. Just put that aside. We run 2 so we are now moving on to grade 2s immediately. We run 2 stallers. Basically, if you have, so the first continuous effect, the boost, if you have 3 or more friend ability or powerful ability on 3 more rear guards with friend or powerful ability. Oh, rear guards, dang, that's annoying. It gains boost. So you need 3 rear guards, keep in mind, so it's a bit iffy on that side. I realized I've been abusing this wrongly. Anyway, the second effect is when this unit is placed during the main phase, if your soul has put a card from your soul to the drop zone. That's mandatory, by the way. And then you choose a card with powerful or friend ability from your drop, and then you call it to the rearguard circle. And you cannot access the graveyard for the you cannot access the drop zone for the rest of the turn, basically. So it's a once per turn mechanic, and I mean you run 2 because they're very good techs, but yeah, you want more powerful units for targets. And how do you search for more powerful targets? You use a Custodia, which is all the way back to set 4. There goes set 4. Well, surprisingly, still holding on very well in this day and age. Basically, when this unit is placed, you can soul +1, top 5, choose a grade 2 or less, choose a powerful card with a different card name from this unit, and if it's grade 2 or less, you call it the rearguard circle, and if it's grade 3, or if it's not, then you can add it to your hand, then you discard a card if you add it to your hand. So if you found like either one of these 2 targets, you can add it to your hand instead, which is actually pretty handy in occasions. You'd be surprised. The second effect is if your Vanguard is Herminia in its card name, and you're in powerful state, it gains an additional 5,000 power shield, so it's a 10k intercept, or just shield from hand, which you will always have unless you fight against decks like Tamayura, where they just put rearguards to soul and then you cry about it. So keep that in mind. The next 4 cards is we have one of the more recent supports, Rarako, which the first effect continuous. It doesn't you soul +1 and gives itself plus 5,000 power until end of turn. No, it doesn't care what Vanguard you're on, so that's pretty cool. So you can use it on turn 2. And then when this unit attack, you can counter +1 and energy +3, and it gives itself 10,000 power, and you draw a card. So this is a free plus, and when you combo it with this during the battle, it basically is just energy +3. So keep in mind you do need the energy. So if you don't have energy, you can. So usually, like if you don't spend it on your turn 2 play for this, turn 3 you can attack it twice, and you can gain like 20,000 power. So it's pretty good. We're bringing back some old, original, very useful cards here. We have one of the strongest cards I do enjoy. Relay skill. I use soul +1, choose one of your Vanguards with powerful ability, and gains an additional 5,000 power until end of turn. And then the second effect basically means when this unit attack, you can counter +2. It gains 10,000 power, and if your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater Herminia in its card name, this performs a drive check until end of battle. So note the power stays until end of turn, but the drive check doesn't. So that's why you attack. It costs you basically 2 counter blasts. You stand, you attack. You have to pay the cost. Usually you only pay 1 by the second attack, because it gets reduced by 1. By this costing 2 counter blasts regardless, so keep that in mind. There's a lot of counter blasts in this deck, so keep that in mind as well. For attack, we are bringing back an old bird. We are bringing Signe, basically. The first effect is when this unit boosts, which is actually very useful, surprisingly enough. You can counter +1, and since as long as your Vanguard is in powerful, as long as you're in powerful state, you give one of your other units plus 5,000 power until the end of turn. Then if your Vanguard has powerful ability, it basically just stands itself. And then when it stands itself, you can put a card from the soul to the drop. So you can activate, you can cause it to be powerful, but You rarely do it. Unless you're doing turn 2, where you put this as a booster. It helps you get rid of a card without causing you to discard cards you ideally want in your hand for your following turn. Then we run technically the replacement, which you guys have seen from the last video, Lina. Yes, I managed to make up rare everything, so it's nice and shiny now, which is really nice. God, it's so nice. So the first effect is when this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have a Vanguard with powerful ability, note it says place on rearguard and it doesn't care where it comes from, so you can actually use the grade 2 to revive it. Counter blast 1 or retire a rearguard for the cost, and then you can do one of the 2 effects. The first effect is, it says you look for top 5, add a powerful card from the top 5, add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. So you can technically, if you do see this, you can find the persona. But the second effect basically says, or you can search your deck or drop for Coming of Beauty Herminia original name, reveal it and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. So note, it says original name, so this doesn't count because this is not original name. Original name means this text only. So you can only find this. So you basically have 7 targets, so you are functionally guaranteed, and there are many times where I just dry check into it, even though I had one in hand, so you just discard that one, usually, because so your opponent doesn't know that you just have an extra copy laying around. And the second effect basically, once per turn, at the end of battle, this unit booster, if you have a grade 3 or greater Herminia in its card name and your soul has no cards, because you're in, well, powerful state, you stand this unit. So so unlike Bird, where at the end of the battle, no matter what, it will end during a stand, this will end at rested on the second boost. So keep that in mind, just in case you're fighting decks like Michu, where they stun cards, it might matter to you. Next. Because of the amount of counter blast and lack of actually like other good powerful options, we have our counter charger, which actually is pretty good. Museta, Inspector's Unmasked. It has only one effect, but a very a really funny effect. When this unit boosts Vanguard with Herminia, is grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Herminia's card name, and you're in powerful state, it gives the front row additional 2000 power, so magic numbers. And at the end of battle, this unit attack, you can put this to the bottom of your deck, and then you can counter charge 1. So it's pretty good, especially if you don't have much counter blast. It can help you in a pinch. It also can, but you sometimes don't use this. You only use the second half of the effect if you are lacking in counter blast, which with Herminia you do hit like 50,000 power numbers. I'm running 4 vanilla PGs. I can put in an Elementara now because I got a spare one laying around recently. But either way, you still want to run 4 PGs. Because Lyrical, when you fight Lyrical Cup, you rarely see, the only triple drive deck is Kyrie, which even then Kyrie is no longer triple drive, so generally it doesn't matter. I mean, this is more of the context of Lyrical Cup as well, because you're not going to fight a triple drive deck, so this is what you're going to deal with. Then we are running a Lyrical Overtrigger because your rearguards are attacking twice. The columns are attacking twice. So if you check this, you basically win the game. Because the funny thing is, you see here, this will be gaining 10,000 power in the first attack, so it's 20. So, okay, 20. You say, no big deal. Then you add this boost, 28. Then you persona on that same turn become 38. 38, not to mention one of them does a drive check. Then you need to consider that when it attacks again, becomes 48. So if you get additional 20 to that, you're hitting numbers that ungodly, insanely asking for just even more PG numbers than if it wasn't already asking for it. So kind of in my opinion, and also it's for the rest of the game, so who doesn't like rest of game ability? Next one, we run 1 front trigger, although since Herminia won, maybe I should get an effect front for Lyrical. We run 1 for attack, because you don't need that much draw. So the front occasionally does help, and because you do basically 4 drive checks per turn, this you will draw into a lot of cards. So if you check it early, it's pretty good. 2 draw triggers. These are the effect draws. These are the reprinted versions because I came in quite late. Basically, it just gains. It's a continuous skill. Keep in mind, it's a continuous skill. So if it says cannot activate auto, it's irrelevant. It's still a 10k shield if your opponent is grade 3. So yeah, don't fight against don't use this against Fleming. It's 5k shield value, so you cry. But yeah, it's basically a 10k shield. You kind of need it because 5k is like nothing in this format at this point, so it sucks. We run our 8 crits. They're vanilla crits, except for this one, which I got from WJP, JP format. So it's the FR version. I like shiny. Can you tell? And then our 4 heals. The general, so other than the basic trigger ratio and PGs, the basic strategy is to, in general, is because you don't like lose hand, you don't have to be too afraid on trying to control how much damage you're taking. By turn 3, you want to sit on 3 to 4 damage. If you hit on 4, you're golden. You're set for that turn. If you're fighting Vanguard, you can sit on 3. You'll be fine, basically. So board state that you might see on turn 3. Let's assume you have 2 of this and 2 bird. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We'll just say this since you have a high likely chance. Then and then you have your counter charges, for example. Then obviously your additional copy of Herminia. So one thing interesting is if you have 4 damage, this one will attack counterblast 2. So you have 2 face down. This one will attack counterblast 1. Okay. Then at the end of battle, they will stand. This will cost 1 more, so hence that's why you have 4 damage, so you can do it again. And then this will attack, and then it costs nothing because you have 3 face down. So you can basically get your full power for both columns as long as you have 6 energy for this. Which, if you go second, you can afford to attack this on turn 2, and have plenty of energies for the following for your grade 3 turn to attack this twice. You generally is good practice, unless your gut feeling is funny, that you can double dip in the power. So you would do this first draw. But whether you want to attack with the drive checker first or the draw first is up to personal preference at that point. My general gist with this deck is it's insane. It's honestly surprisingly quite powerful. Oh wow, yeah. No pun intended, but it is indeed powerful now. It definitely lives up to its name way more than usual, and way more than when I initially bought it. The support that Bushiroad has given this deck has honestly put a grin in my face, because the one deck that let me won my first shop tourney with a deck that I actually own personally is insane. So that's it for this week's video. I was planning to upload a fight video, but I was not feeling very great today. So anyway, other than that, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and support your local card shops.